Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who needs no introduction. All right, let's get into it. All right, sorry, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, just a little introduction, just a tiny one.
All right, joining me is a man who is a Goliath of industry.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Whose favorite film is Chill Factor.
I wish.
And who once walked across the country.
That's actually true. People might be thinking you're making that up.
Like if I did two truths and a lie.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yo, this dude loves Chill Factor.
Yeah, there's no way he walked across the country. He definitely loves Chill Factor, though. I don't even know what Chill Factor is. What is Chill Factor?
Chill Factor, Skeet Ulrich, Cuba Gooding Jr., they're in a ice cream truck, and there's like a nuclear bomb in the ice cream truck, and they have to keep it cold, and they're being chased by terrorists, and they're just making they're driving through the mountains trying not to have a nuclear bomb explode in their ice cream truck.
That had to come out after Cuba won his Oscar, right?
Yeah, I think so. Either that or Snow Dogs.
I'm looking up Chill Factor right now. Chill Factor. Oh no, wait.
It's
1999. Yeah, 1999 because he won in 96, right?
96. Yeah. So I've actually never watched Chill Factor.
That's okay.
And I don't want to.
Right.
I haven't watched Swim Fan, but I own a lot of copies of it.
Why do you own so many copies of Swim Fan?
It's a good bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, this guy who he owns Swim Fan. He doesn't watch it.
Yeah, I don't think many people watch Swim Fan or Chill Factor.
Yeah, when I get people over, I use my Swim Fan bit.
Dude, that would be kind of cool if you had 100 copies of Swim Fan and they were just all on your bookshelf. And when people came over, you're like, "Do you guys want to watch a movie?" That'd be pretty cool. I mean,
I have a director signed. I have a poster signed by the director.
Who's in Swim Fan? Erica, whatever her name is, Christensen or something.
Yeah, and then that one fella.
God,
and
you're
lady from Roswell.
Erica Christensen and Jesse Bradford.
There it is.
And Sherry Appleby.
You know, I've always wondered, there's movies Big Fan, The Fan, Swim Fan. I wonder if there's an algorithm to figure out who actually is the biggest fan.
Is that a segue into our topic today?
Pretty much.
I know not yet. I know we're going to a different
Yeah. And so in the words of Lazvath, I think it's time for a listener question.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for.
And this one comes from Eric, and it goes, hey, how many magazines would Steven Seagal really use in Under Siege while battling those villains? So he has a magazine that he rolls up, and he's fighting off terrorists who have knives. Would these magazines get hacked to pieces?
I don't know if you're rolling them up. I mentioned this before, but I was watching Conan O'Brien, and Conan O'Brien has Stephen Ho, who's a stunt coordinator. He came on, and he also teaches how to fight against crime. When you don't have a weapon, he even taught Conan how to use an umbrella and stuff as a weapon. And one of his bits was when he came on, he had Conan go into a mock bathroom and sit on the toilet with a magazine. And he said, "We're going to have some people attack you, and you got to fight them off and use the magazine as a weapon. You just roll it up, and, you can deflect, attacks." So that's what Conan did, and he ended up taking out 3 stuntmen. Granted, they're stuntmen, and it's all an act. So who knows if it would actually work. But I think you can use a magazine as a weapon.
Do you think they would have hacked up the magazine, though? That's the problem.
I think here's the thing. When you're rolling up the magazine, I guess it depends on how hard the swings of the knives are coming at you or the hacks. But I think if you're planning it right, you can just knock the knife out of their hand. If you're hitting hard enough, you know what I mean?
What if he's knife fighting Tommy Lee Jones, though, in that movie? Remember that weird style that Tommy Lee Jones had?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? You think he needs multiple magazines? He doesn't have time to roll them all up. You got to roll a magazine up. You can't just slap them with an open magazine.
I mean, this depends who he's fighting.
I get
Like if he's fighting the bride, he's gonna need like 8 of them.
But if he's just trying to choke out a Nostromo crew member like Ash, the robot, did in the first Alien, you only need one and you just shove it down their throat.
He shoved a magazine down someone's throat.
Yeah, you don't remember that? He did it. He didn't like shove it down her throat, but he rolled up a magazine and started shoving it into Sigourney Weaver's mouth when she was like unconscious on the bed, and he was like trying to choke her out. It was a really weird move.
I gotta do a post as magazines as weapons.
Yeah, dude, that was a really odd scene in Alien.
Remember that bit in Home Alone where Marv is walking around the building and there's just a magazine there and it just kind of deflects him and Marv reads the entire magazine?
No. That was in there?
It's a 20-minute deleted scene where he just flips through it. He just thumbs through the magazine and looks at it.
That sounds very interesting, but I'm also using the term interesting loosely. I don't
know.
Yeah.
Well, how random would that be if he just pulls up to a magazine and starts reading it for 20 minutes?
And you just have to watch it?
Yeah.
It depends. We're talking about Marv, the Daniel Stern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch Daniel Stern do anything. That guy, Daniel Stern is an underrated actor, I think. He doesn't get enough credit. You know what I mean?
You haven't seen him Celtic Pride? Bushwhacked?
Yeah, but City Slickers and Diner.
Oh, yeah.
And Diner is one of my favorite movies. I think he was like awesome in that movie. City Slickers, I like City Slickers also.
I think the second one, isn't City Slickers 2 Back to Slickin'?
Yeah, I think that's the title of it. Where Jack Palance tries to get another Oscar.
And they're like, oh, we're just slicking.
Playing a different character, but really the same character. Back to Slickin'.
A different bit.
Yeah. I'm waiting for City. Did you see that, not to go too off topic, but the Westworld Funny or Die with Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern, where they were playing like their City Slicker characters, like in Westworld? It was weird. Yeah. They were playing like
That's amazing.
they were playing their cowboy like parts from City Slickers, but in the Westworld world. It was weird. It was funny though.
All right, I need to watch that.
Mm-hmm. But
that'd be good.
Anyways, what was the question again? Something about
Well, how many magazines?
Okay, I'll go with 2, just one per hand. I think if you're swinging wildly enough, it's not gonna.
I think Tommy Lee Jones is gonna confetti one of them.
You think so? I don't know, man. Steven Seagal just swinging wildly. I don't know.
I mean, he's like, that was a pretty long knife fight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with 3.
3, one in his back pocket.
Yeah, and then he pulls out at the end.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You think
Everyone has to have an Action People magazine in their back pocket.
Yeah, you think his magazines are like all done, they're all shredded, but then he pulls out one more from his back pocket. It's already all rolled up. I can see that.
Slow motion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so that's the answer. 2 or 3?
2 or 3.
Perfect.
I like it, And then when you're done, you have something to read.
Exactly. Go to the bathroom, sit down, read the new Cosmopolitan or whatever he's reading.
Sports Illustrated. Like City Slickin'.
So do you think he would have like a better chance of fighting crime if he was in like a doctor's office or like a dentist's office with all the magazines laying around?
Oh man, that's a great plot idea.
like he runs out of his magazine. Like the last magazine in his back pocket is just like it gets shredded, and he's like, I'm out of magazines. But luckily, he's like in like next to a doctor's office, and he just like barges into the room, doesn't like look for any other weapon. He just grabs the magazines and starts rolling them.
Like how Popeye needs spinach. If Steven Seagal ends up in a Barnes and Noble, like the world's done.
Right. He just starts going crazy. Using books and magazines, just knocking people out.
I mean, they're just flying everywhere. Like, the crazy 88 scene in Kill Bill? Like, that's the same, but in Barnes & Noble.
Yeah. I think that'd be good. It's going to suck for Steven Seagal. Granted, he's already kind of old, but it's going to suck in the future when we don't have books anymore and it's all Kindles. What's he going to do then? Roll up a Kindle? I don't think so.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What is he going to do?
I don't know. I mean, the future's close. You know, we're almost Fahrenheit 451, whatever. Forget what the degree was, but you know what I mean. Like books are almost gone. I'm being a little bleak.
Claude Van Damme's role in Cyborg, he's done.
That's true. I'm also being a little bleak. I don't know if books are going to be obsolete within the next like 2 years, but you know what I mean. It's going to happen.
I mean, that's a big leap. Yeah, that's a big leap.
Yeah, it might be a few more than 2 years.
Like something drastic has to happen tomorrow.
They have a sale on Kindles.
What are they?
Yeah, just a huge sale, like 90% off. There goes your books. No more books.
Bookshelves become very expensive.
Now that's a movie I would watch.
From now it's taxed.
I think that would be that'd be an interesting premise. I don't know. Very dystopian future.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because bookshelves became taxed.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And then power goes out, so we can't use our Kindles.
Oh, man. I don't know. If you charge them and you don't read it too often, those things stay charged for like a few months. So just make sure you get power back before you have to go back to reading books with candlelight.
Let's pick some extra charger.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I don't want to use candlelight because people could see.
Dude, I don't know how, like, again, not to get too off topic, but dude, how did people live back in like the 1700s, man? Like candlelight.
I mean, that's all they knew.
I mean, I know that, but I mean, Jesus, like they lit a candle and that just brightened the whole house. I mean, that sucks.
I mean, they had some pretty good candles.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it's got to be weird. Like somebody blows out the candle and then all of a sudden you can't see anything.
You know what killed the candle industry?
I don't know. Is there a punchline?
Well, they just put taxes on them, and then they're like, "Well, I'm going to do electricity." That's how that all happened.
That makes sense. And it wasn't candles like because they were doing like the whaling and they used like whale oil to like create the candles.
Yeah, there's no more sperm whales.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I hate candles now.
Yeah, it's all part of the whaling industry. I'm against that.
Is that what Melville wrote about, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I read a book. It was funny. I read a book called The Whale, and it was a book about Moby Dick and like just the whaling industry in general. And I read that, and it was kind of like the author who wrote it said he read Herman Melville's Moby Dick, and he's just like, it was the hardest book I ever had to get through. So he just put some excerpts into his book, and I was like, I guess like I get the gist of it. I don't need to read Moby Dick now. That 500-page description of hunting one whale.
Interesting. So he just made it easier?
I mean, kind of. I mean, he put some cliff notes in there. You know what I mean?
A book was really hard to read, so he wrote a book?
Mm-hmm. It was too hard to read, so he kind of gave you the gist of what Moby Dick was about. And I was like, it's like Cliff Notes, but with some backstory about the whaling industry. So it was an interesting read. I'd plug the author.
Plug that later on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd plug it, but I don't remember who the author was.
All right. Do audible.com/shark get 20% off this book that we're talking about.
Yep. Called The Whale by Unknown. I mean, it is known, but not. I just don't know it right now. I could do a Google search because the internet is right here, but that's too much work.
You know what we should do? We should get into the topic.
Okay. What is the topic, Mark?
Well, something cool happened to the site Movies, Films, and Flicks, man.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Something big.
How big?
We had the senior writer of Wired, Brian Raftery, just released. He interviewed me about the dumb data that I've been releasing over the last 2 years.
Nice.
And it's been a nice little hullabaloo. Like I have a good following Movies, Films, and Flicks. Also, I use I'm on Reddit a lot, but I try to follow the self promotion, so I just put the entire post on Reddit. So I've like developed a pretty good following. And Raftery just released this article on Wired, and it was called "Meet I Bringing Dumb Data Movie Math to Reddit."
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, and I did read this article, and he like talks about several of your articles. Like he plugged a bunch of them that you wrote, and I know you you have on one of your pages, you show like a bunch of like you have a link to a lot of the different dumb movie data or whatever you call it for like the different statistics that you created for each one.
Yeah, I mean, if you pop over to the site, you'll see a post that says a grouping of cinematic data that gives you answers to questions you didn't have.
Yeah, perfect.
And so I guess we're like a lot of people are like, well, this data is not dumb. But for me, like, you know, when you read these posts, I'm talking about how fast Leatherface can sprint. Like,
Right.
I'm figuring out how far Matthew McConaughey jumps in Rain of Fire, and like if people like a bearded Kurt Russell or a sleeveless T-shirt Kurt Russell. So I guess I adopted the whole like kind of dumb data and like self-deprecating thing because it kind of beats people to the punch. Because I understand how useless a lot of this data is,
Right.
but also, man, it's just fun. Like, it's different. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna read this and like laugh until they cry. I just want people to like read the headline and be like, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you're sitting in a cubicle with some buddies, right? And you hear the guy next to you going, hey.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I guess with the website, it's so, building up throughout the years, I always found that I had to like work different angles. So
Right.
it all started with me like talking about Jason Statham movies where he has an overcoat do better than the movies where he has a suit as far as critics go.
Exactly.
Then I figured out if explosions on posters matter. And I don't know if you remember this, Robert, but you were part of a podcast where we were talking about how jet ski action scenes are terrible.
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
And the only thing that could make a jet ski action scene cool is if a Komodo dragon was driving that jet ski.
Oh my god.
Because if a Komodo dragon shot off a jet ski and just like went into full dive position and went into the water, that thing can swim.
Damn.
So you're kind of like, well, it's off the jet ski now. I'm terrified.
Right. And then it turns into like, a monster movie.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, they're horrible. So I like wrote a post about that, put it on Reddit. It like exploded. People listen to like the podcast a lot. Cinematic jet skis are the worst. Episode 75. I don't know. And then from there, like the thing kind of took off. And I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, I released that post like with the best horror movies of the 21st century.
Yeah.
And it did well, but like I tried to like copy it like for a bunch of different posts in a row because people love that one. And none of those posts like felt natural.
Really?
Like I like them and I'm proud of them, but they didn't really take off because I felt like I was just trying to like, just make a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I wanted to. The stupid like jet ski action scene, and then I figured out like drinking Coronas, and the Fast and the Furious movies that feature Corona drinking do better than the ones that don't. See that reaction you just had?
But that's the thing. Yeah, that's why because I feel like there's already like people already do like lists of movies, like the top 10 horror movies or the top 10 crime movies, or they'll do like Rotten Tomatoes does like their top 100 whatever type of movies or top 5 actors or whatever it is. But you do it like a little bit differently. Like you're like kind of dissecting the movie in a way that people wouldn't really consider. Like they're not gonna like people know that like in slasher films, like the killer always walks and it's kind of like a joke thing, like he's always walking. How does he get to the person running? Like how does he do that? And you like kind of break that down, or like you always like look at like the different smaller stuff. So it's kind of like almost like a joke thing, but you take it in like a serious way, which makes it even more like sarcastically funny.
And like the merman, I figured out how far it traveled in Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And like I kind of broke like I counted the steps in the corridor, then I counted how fast it soldiers to corridor bank, and then I followed the progression of where the merman had to go, because the big blood pool in the elevator bank, which means the mermaid couldn't have had any blood on him because he would have left a trail.
Right.
So he had to get out of the elevator bank before that massive attack.
Nice.
So he took a left out of the elevator banks, went down, then he went down a stair. The merman rolled down a staircase. And then earlier in the film, you see where the two guys are walking from, that one of the guys ends up getting murdered by the merman. And so he had to go down steps, this massive corridor. Then they rode in their golf cart for about 100 yards. And then they stopped, walked a little bit, and went into their corridor. So I found out how fast the merman moved, and then I timed each step, and I the route that I like. Okay, no one knows where the merman traveled. Like
Right.
he could have rode on the back of a unicorn.
Yep.
But the math that's there, I back it. Like there's no proof, but like I think the merman did it. Like I think the merman crawled the entire way. I don't think it got a ride from a gargoyle.
No, I don't think so. It's great because like I'm sure the producers and director and even actors don't even consider how like the merman gets from point A to point B. They just put him in point B, but you're like, I'm gonna figure out how he got there, like how specifically and
like
how
so many,
fast.
and like there's those websites like CinemaSins that just poke out holes in the film. Like I'm not really poking out holes, so I'm just kind of filling in some blanks.
Right. Yeah, because you're taking
know,
it as
man.
like if it's a real situation, like how does it happen? Did you do one on Jaws, like the shark falling?
I did one on Deep. Oh yeah, I did one on that, and I figured out how fast the shark could swim.
Okay.
And like so, all right, Jaws for the Revenge, right? Everyone's like, that shark could never make that journey, and I'm like, well, it did make the journey,
Yeah, it did.
right?
Yep.
Like, and so I took that and I did a post about how long does it take your favorite horror movie characters to get to, New York City to San Francisco, and I figured out a gremlin could never make it. It would just be like an apocalypse. Imagine a gremlin trying to make it cross country. The world would be over.
Yeah.
Like crawlers would take 132 days. The Saw tricycle puppet would take 71 days. Jason Voorhees, 41 days. The Graboids from Tremors would take 31.81. And I figured out that there was a trail called the American Discovery Trail that leads all the way across the country. And I think the Tremors are smart. They figure things out. They could take care of that.
Oh yeah.
Jaws could swim there from 17.3 days, go through the Panama Canal. The
Nice.
Critters 16.2 days. It's all stupid,
Right.
but I feel like the math is backed up because I have like clips that I watch and I try to like, break everything down the best I can.
Yeah, and if people think that you're making this stuff up, then they can back up like their own assertions with their own math.
Yeah, and I back up everything I have, and the math works. So the other day on the posts on the website, I had a guy comment, and I'm glad they're commenting. I'm glad you're reading. I think it's awesome. It was actually like a really nice comment, and he was just like, you know what? Like, I think we only have proof that Matthew McConaughey only jumped 15 feet in Rain of Fire. And if you want to read it, I wrote a post about Matthew McConaughey's 35-foot jump in Rain of Fire, and so. But I have the clip, I have the video, and it's art for it. But there's a thing though. It's Rain of Fire in 10 seconds. Matthew McConaughey jumps, right, and then you cut to Christian Bale looking up, and you see McConaughey in the air, and he never drops. By the way, he has a massive axe, and he basically just jumps parallel with the ground and never drops. Like,
Right.
I didn't even make fun of that. It just happened in the movie. So I'm like breaking it down. So he jumps, but he has the axe out in front of him and he's already cleared easily 15 feet. But then you cut to him and then he starts the swinging motion for another few seconds, which is another 15 feet. So he jumps easily 30 feet parallel to the ground without dropping.
Was it in slow motion too? I can't remember.
No, it was pretty much regular time.
Okay.
Like that's what's kind of crazy. Like the way you're watching him jump, he clears 30 feet. Now, I've watched this video so many times. But I was going to like reply to it. I'm like, no, like it's not that important.
Right.
Like I don't want to have a battle about how far McConaughey jumped.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, it's movie time. He didn't jump that far. But like, at least I don't know. So now when you watch this movie, you'll maybe you'll think about something different.
Exactly. It poses more questions. It's a different way of watching a movie. And like, I have friends who sometimes they'll watch a movie and they'll be like, how did that happen? Or how did he get there or whatever? And I do that too, but I don't give it much more thought than just that one question that one time and then move on.
Yeah. And I guess I've just had a lot of these, like the one post that he broke down. So in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, I actually fell asleep while watching it. But in the theater of all places, which is kind of weird, falling asleep during a movie called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, horror movie. Yeah.
But there's a scene where this kid's running away from Leatherface, and this kid's like spry, and he's running through this city of blankets. Like we're talking like 60 sheets just everywhere, not blanket sheets. And somehow Leatherface is behind him. Then Leatherface cuts off to the side, and I think 5 seconds later, Leatherface is in front of him and chops his leg off.
Mm-hmm. I remember that
So
scene.
the scene, I'm like, and the kid's Andy's running in a straight line. This kid's like not zigging and zagging. He's
Right.
straight line. So that means in that 5 seconds, he had to peel off with a chainsaw, running through sheets, get ahead of him, spin around, and cut his leg off.
Yeah.
So
I
went in my
always
backyard.
wondered.
So what? Sorry.
No, I
Went
was
in my
going to say,
backyard,
I always remember, or sorry, not to cut you off. I always wondered about that scene too, but go ahead. How did you figure it out?
Oh, no, I like laid down a bunch of, like, I put a bunch of sticks in the ground, and I got like an industrial tape measure, and I basically plotted out Andy's path, and then I plotted out how Leatherface could get around him and how far that would be in feet. So then I could measure that with the distance he ran.
So you went all out.
And then my wife came home, was like, "Why is there a bunch of sticks in the backyard? And why is there a tape measure laying around?"
I'm doing research.
I
Honey.
did ask her if I should like crawl like the merman. She's like, "You don't need to." Yeah. So I don't know, man. So now when you read it, it's stupid, but you know, the math is right. At least my math is right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think he cleared like 75 feet. Here, let me pull like how fast. And like I said that he could run a 6-minute mile, which I think is pretty impressive considering he's about 250. He's running through a blanket city and he's holding a chainsaw.
Yeah, especially with the chainsaw.
And he doesn't have running shoes on.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's like, hold on. I'm pulling up the article too. Let me see. Yeah, I always wondered that with that one scene because I remember watching that in theaters also. And like when they were running away, I was like, how did he, like the only thing I could think of is, and I thought maybe I just didn't watch the scene correctly or I missed it, but maybe that the guy turned at some point and he just got kind of like trapped in the sheet city and just turned at some point and Leatherface just caught up with him.
Yeah, so if you like go to the site, it's analyzing the foot chase and sheet washing in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Yeah.
And I have a little diagram of Leatherface's sprint.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I kind of
see.
broke down like all those lines are like all the lines are actually measured out.
Oh my God. That's
So
awesome.
stupid. And like I don't know. And like I broke down the math and basically I said that Leatherface covered 72 feet in 5 seconds, which means he was doing a 6.1 mile for those 5 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
And a bunch of people are like, listen, I know people that could run 6-minute miles. I'm like, yeah, but like it's on an open field. They're not holding chainsaws.
Yeah, running through sheets and how does he even see him at that point?
And like, I want to write posts that like, if someone argues with it, it's just silly.
Right. Well,
like,
you're always going to
dude,
get those
just the-
trolls that have to
Yeah.
be
And
different.
like the people who, but the thing is though, I think since I don't know, man, I'm not like, it's just been fun to write. I really have fun writing these. And I think these come from earnestness and not me wanting to hate on things.
Mhm.
So there's been like a really positive feedback from the internets when normally it's like Troll City.
Right. No,
But,
that's
I don't know, man.
that's awesome. I mean, anything
and
that
like,
does something different. I mean,
go for it.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, just anything that does something different, like with movies. I mean, even this podcast, Movies, Films, and Flicks, is like you're taking like a certain subject and like delving deeper into it, and it's not like your traditional movie subjects. Like you listen to a lot of. I used to listen to a lot of movie podcasts, and they're all about either like watching like one specific movie that just came out or a genre or something like that, but you're dissecting like sleeveless t-shirted Kurt Russell and stuff like that and cinematic
John
trees.
Travolta smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely like a different take on the movie genre.
And you know what though, man? Like, I guess for me, there's so like I think there are some podcasts like that are really good, and that's just not my style. Like, I think if I tried to mimic that style, it wouldn't be as good. And I guess with Levin Good, Lasvath, you, my wife, like we're all kind of random. So I don't know. And also our website's not like the biggest. We're not like mainstream. So we can afford to write posts about Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, feature him doing more splits, have higher Rotten Tomato averages.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
we kind of have the freedom. We don't really have too many deadlines. So we kind of have the freedom to write about what we want to write about.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man, like I learned a long time ago, like some of my favorite movie reviewers from Empire, Roger Ebert, Raftery, the guys from AV Club, they're incredibly eloquent, man. And that's just not my style. I'm not saying I couldn't do that, but the way they write about movies, I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of just stuck to kind of embracing the randomness that I like.
No, I think it works out. Like, I think, like, to me, if you were to ever do like that kind of thing for like a YouTube series, I think it would be pretty popular. Like, if you were to like break it down with like showing the schematics and all that kind of stuff and showing your efforts, like, I think you would have like a pretty big following on YouTube.
Oh man, and I've actually done all the filming before. I know plenty of people who would want to do that.
Yeah, I think like that's something that you could always explore like later on. Because obviously the articles.
Not give you credit.
What? Not gonna give me credit?
Nope.
Oh man.
And you can be like, "Hey, Mark, remember that time?" And I'm be like, "Nope, you were here for the jet ski one too."
Yeah. Yeah,
you're like the
one.
man behind. Like I'm like Michael Keaton from The Founder, and you're like the McDonald's brothers. I'm stealing everything from you.
Yeah, you're being a real Ray Kroc right now. Go on YouTube, be all hit. Did you? I just watched The Founder like 2 weeks ago.
I feel like if Michael Keaton showed up at my door and like he could swindle a lot of money out of me.
Yeah, he's just such a nice, like the way he just smiles, but it's like that crooked smile that he's swindling you, but you kind of let it go.
Yeah, you know what's happening.
Yeah, you know you're getting taken, but you do it anyways.
And then, I don't know. So like, what I liked, it was pretty cool that Raftery kind of like reached out, and I thought it was pretty neat though. Like that, I never in a million years thought that this stupid data would be picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's why it was.
Well, it's one of those things. Like if you're passionate about it and you actually do like good work, good quality work, like it'll find its audience eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and I think so many people I think the movie selection too, like people love Deep Blue Sea, Cabin in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
There was actually a big audience for Reign of Fire.
Really? I remember I watched that movie and I was not like a fan. Like I wanted to like it and I just didn't. Like it didn't stay with me. The only thing I do remember was that Matthew McConaughey jump. That's the only thing I remember from that movie. I don't know.
I mean, he really went for it.
I remember it from the trailer. The trailer like showed that scene too.
Just the leap?
Yeah, it showed the leap and like him with the axe, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see that because I was a lot younger, and I loved action movies. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be great. And then I don't remember much of it, and then I remember that was in the trailer because that was what made me want to go see it. But then like that's almost like a spoiler because he dies right then.
Like, and there's really no coming back from that. Like, what if the dragon has a sense of humor and just stops?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's falling to the ground.
Yeah, or just flies under him, and then he's just going over the dragon. Like, there's a lot. Regardless, he's gonna fall, even if the dragon doesn't eat him.
Yeah, even if he kills the dragon, he's gonna fall on the ground and die.
Yeah, what was his end goal at that point? Like, just to try to.
It was supposed to be a distraction, but it was like a really horrible distraction.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like it's like, Robert, I need a distraction, and then you run 20 yards, and you're like, "Hey guys," and you like blow yourself up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a suicide bomber kind of thing. Like, just jump out there, commit suicide, and hope it distracts long enough.
Like he could have like ducked a couple times.
Yeah, like just stay on that tower.
Yeah,
I don't know, because that axe isn't going to do shit to that dragon. It's not going to do anything.
And then I don't know if you remember this, but I was doing research for this one post I was writing, and I came across this I Know What You Did Last Summer clip where the killer. All right, so Jennifer Love Hewitt's driving around. She hears some stuff in her trunk. She opens up her trunk. There's a dead guy, and the trunk is filled with crabs. Right? So she closes her trunk and runs away. When she comes back with all of her friends, she opens up her trunk and it's cleaned perfectly. Like there's no crab poop.
Yeah.
There's no like. And so in the beginning, I was like, did he like clean this out in like 10 minutes? Like he would have had to back his car up and just been in a straight up sprint. But then this is going to sound insane, but I noticed the tree shade. Like, well, the shade has changed a lot. And it's probably because they were resetting the shot.
Right.
So I was like, well, if I take this movie literally, I got to figure out how long this is. So I was working a job in Aspen. And while like the rental company was setting up our entire event, I kept my eye on a tree, like a big tree. And I watched where the shade went. And I timed it. So like on a job, I figured out like tree movement for my I Know What You Did Last Summer post.
Nice. And did you figure out how long it was?
It was like 2 hours. So he basically just cleaned all the crabs out, took the body out, got a bunch of scrubbing bubbles, possibly some bleach. I actually looked up how long it takes to clean a trunk and what ingredients you need. So he put on his gloves, he cleaned the entire trunk, let it air out, closed the trunk, drove away, and they came back 2 hours later.
Damn.
And then I wonder why to post about what they did for those 2 hours.
Maybe they took a wrong turn somewhere or something. Couldn't figure out where she left the car.
I don't like a parking garage.
Yeah, I don't remember because like I don't remember that movie either. I saw that movie and I don't remember if I saw it in theaters or not either. Because that came out in what 90? Did it come out in the 90s? 98, 96, 96 maybe.
Well, no, Scream came out in 96, so probably 97.
Yeah, I knew it was after that. Like I had like a huge crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt, so I remember I was like excited for that movie, and I like Scream, but then like that movie didn't really hold up.
Yeah, I kind of want to write a post about what they did for those 2 hours. Like I don't know what they did during that part of their summer.
Right. They won't forget it though.
Yeah, you're right.
Or the killer won't forget it.
I mean, but did someone walk by when he was cleaning out the crabs of this trunk?
Yeah, but even if he was, is anybody going to stop and be like, what are you doing?
Was he like in his fisherman regalia?
I assume he's always in that.
I just keep walking.
With his little fish hook or whatever it was, ice pick or what was it? I don't remember.
The fish hook.
What was it?
It was a fish hook. It was a hook.
Yeah, there you go. It was a hook.
Stupid movie.
Yeah.
All right, and speaking of, we got one more listener question I kind of want to drop on you.
Okay.
All right, so my buddy Chris, and you know what, man, I'm gonna read this because he wrote me this really long message. He's like Levingood hates long questions, so he's like, I'm gonna condense it, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. For my dumb data contribution, how big is the town of Sleepy Hollow? Not the television show, which is obviously a city, but the small town that was in the Tim Burton one from the 90s. How much ground could Daredevil, HH's horse, cover, and why does it seem like he's going so much faster than everyone else, but he has a hard time keeping up? Obviously, it's being used for dramatic effect, but there are certain scenes with the Horseman and Daredevil that barely keeping up with two regular horses that are pulling a carriage. And then next, they blow out of a tree. If the horse can really go as fast as it can in the other scenes, I would think there's a blow past everyone to the point that the horseman would be like, shit, and turn around. I think that you have to zip back and forth multiple times so you could do that without any damage or if anyone will even notice them. So then I wrote, huh? And then he wrote, to keep the pace, I think it would be difficult for the horseman to stay within the boundaries of Sleepy Hollow so easily if he's traveling so fast. So my question would be, how big is Sleepy Hollow?
Oh my god.
It was awesome.
Did you do
I was like, I love it.
Did you do any math to that?
No, but I watched the clip. And if you go online and you type in Sleepy Hollow 1999 and it's clip 10 out of 10, it's the really long carriage chase at the end. Mm-hmm. And do you remember at the end of Furious 6 how long that airplane hangar is?
Mm-hmm.
or the airplane runway
The
is.
runway, yeah.
That's a really long road they're on. Like, I don't know anything about roads in 1799, but this is like the straightest road that just goes on for miles, and really dark, foggy land. Like, I don't know anything about 1799 road building.
You're asking,
like
I don't either.
But this seems like the Furious Six of roads.
Right.
So, did the Headless Horseman could only stay in the boundaries of Sleepy Hollow?
Could he? I don't remember that part. Was that part of the movie where he had to stay in that area?
And he had to he jumped into a tree. So I mean, that's if he had to stay in Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow is a big ass town for 1799.
I mean, maybe it's a big town, but also did that road lead out of Sleepy Hollow?
But it didn't have to be in the town proper.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like if the road headed out of the town, like, is it really part of the town anymore? Like, if I go down US 19, eventually I'm out of St. Pete, but I'm still on US 19. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I guess it wasn't. Yeah. Well, no, dude. Highway 19 is a beast.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, but it keeps going straight for a long time. You know what I mean? But it
So
leaves.
did he leave Sleepy Hollow?
I think maybe just like, you know, the line forming the city or the town, you know what I mean? Like, it goes a little bit past like where the actual buildings are and the houses, and goes more into like the wilderness, and that's still considered Sleepy Hollow.
Gotcha. This is before suburban sprawl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they did their counties and everything like that. I don't know how they drew up the maps, but I'm assuming that either that or, you know, it's just the US 19 of the 1700s.
I mean, that's a long straight road.
Yeah.
That's a lot of maintenance in there and upkeep.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not like, it's not a paved road. It's just a dirt road.
It's true.
So I
But
mean,
it was pretty flat. It was nicely maintained.
yeah.
Like on the side, you saw like sponsored by the Salem witch trials.
Yeah, but think about it this way. I mean, back in the 1700s, that's what they did. They built roads and they built log houses, and that was it.
That was it.
And they did some steel work or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they made horseshoes and candles, and that was it.
Killed sperm whales.
Killed sperm whales, lit some candles, and, you know.
Called it a day.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they didn't have, you know, it was more labor-intensive type of life. Whereas, like, nowadays you go to a cubicle and that's it.
Yeah, I guess just driving around I've been driving around in the mountains lately, and none of those roads are that nice. Like,
Right.
they're all twisty-turny.
Yeah. But this was just probably like one area where it's just a straight shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. But just watch the clip.
All right, I'll watch it.
It's a big road. So, Chris Kelly, I'm saying Sleepy Hollow. All right, so if the scene is 4 minutes long, right? Oh, gosh, I don't want to do math. And they're going 20 miles an hour. That's a mile every 3 minutes. So then that means if
it's a mile every 3 minutes, and then it goes for how long? 4 minutes?
Yeah.
So then it's only 1.3 miles? No, that can't be right.
Yeah.
1.3?
All right, well, yeah,
Because if it's
1.3.
If it's 4 minutes, yeah. I mean, that's not that long.
20 miles an hour.
I mean, that's not that long.
Yeah, so it's a fair-sized city.
Yeah. I mean, they're in a carriage. They're not going 60, like, you know what I mean? They're not on the highway.
I'm saying 20. I'm saying 20.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It seems longer than it actually is, probably because they're not going as fast as, like, if you were on the highway.
Yeah, they're not in Lambos.
Right.
So it's like 1.3 miles, and there's probably outskirts, and you have, like, the weird people that live out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's all still part of the town.
That's a pretty good, it's not bad for like a really small town.
No, I don't think so. Especially in the
All right,
1700s. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I'd say how many sperm whales would take up 1.3 miles?
well, a sperm whale, I believe, is about 60 feet long. No,
60 feet?
I can't remember if it's 60
Yeah,
or
I'd say
80.
so.
I think it's 60 because a blue whale is 100 feet. So I think the next
so
biggest.
if you take, what, 5,280
Yeah. So that
divided by 60?
divided by 60. Well, hold on. So let's do this. 5,000.
So is that 88? Is that 88 sperm whales? And then you got to add a third of that. So then that's like
What's 88?
like 29.
Right.
So are we saying that 115 sperm whales is 1.3 miles?
Roughly. Yeah, roughly.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No.
Wait, what?
Dang it.
What's a mile? 5,280
Oh yeah, 5,280.
divided by 60.
And then you got 60.
Yeah,
feet.
that's 80. That's 88 sperm whales.
Yeah.
Divide by 3 is 29. So 88 plus 29. 117. So it's 117 sperm whales. Roughly, like we're not exact here. I'm just trying to do this this math in my head, and you know what I mean.
So I like it. So 117 sperm whales. That's how far they traveled.
Yeah, people don't do those measurements anymore in whales.
I mean, 1799. That's all they did, right?
Yeah, I think so. I used to do that with songs. Like when I had to like go to work or something, I would like jokingly say if I had to go to work or I had to like go like to the mall or something like that, I would judge the distance based on like songs. So I could be like, I could get to work easily within a Freebird, but then like to get to the mall, I'd have to do like a Freebird and a Stairway to Heaven and maybe even like a Hotel California. You know what I mean? So like that's how I would judge like distance was based on like the time of songs, and I would just pick songs. But
Interesting.
back
if you just
then-
pick Foghat, if you pick Slow Ride, which I did a post on, you'd be there in one song.
well, when I have to go to Orlando, I do Inagata Davida, and like then I'm in Orlando. It's about an
Just
hour
do
and a half.
Slow Ride. All right, so hour and a half, 90 minutes.
Yeah. So 90 minutes. Inagata Davida is like how long? Like 14 minutes or something?
Nice.
I don't remember.
Just play it on loop.
Yeah.
You can play Slow Ride, which is 6 minutes.
I always try to pick like different songs. So you figure like a Slow Ride, an Inagata Davida, a Freebird, Stairway to Heaven. That's only like probably like halfway to Orlando from St. Pete. But still, you know what I'm
Did you ever
saying.
No, I'm with you. You know if the geologist in Prometheus,
Mhm.
so to escape, so he got lost famously, right?
Right.
But all he had to do was take 2 lefts and a right,
To get out of the spaceship.
yeah, and travel about I don't know. What I have the math here. Let's see. And try. So he just had to travel about 15. Yeah, so he basically just had to travel about 200 yards.
Damn. He got lost though.
Yeah, so he wouldn't even. But see, all he had to do was take 2 lefts and a right.
And he would have been to safety.
So that scene I figured out. When he walked away, all he had to do was take a left and just walk straight all the way until it ended. And then you have to take a left, and then sunlight was beaming in.
So he should have saw that, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember, like, was he running away from something? I don't remember.
No, he was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to run away with anything. So he was like the one thinking logically.
All right. And he still got lost.
Yeah.
Nice. I feel like everybody in Prometheus was just not up to standard. Like, they shouldn't have been scientists. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just don't know how the guy got lost. I just think he maybe thought this is a shortcut.
Maybe he thought, yeah, he just thought it was a shortcut. He was heading that way, and then that's it.
And they refuse to admit he's wrong.
Well, it's like
But the problem is, if he's the only other shortcut in this, though, would have led him back around the tunnel to the people.
Yeah, but it's like getting stuck in like a hedge maze. Like, you know what I mean? Like you go the wrong way too far, and then you don't remember how to get back to point A. So he just kept going deeper and deeper.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's like a rectangle that leads all the way around.
Well, then yeah, then he should have been able
This
to
guy
get.
had no excuse to be lost. I think a lot of people read this one with like scratching their heads because I think it was probably like the most hater-ish.
Really.
I'm kind of just like making, well, yeah, because I'm just kind of saying like you just had to take 2 lefts and a right.
Yeah, but
I had to buy Prometheus and like study it to figure that out.
I'm sorry. That's not,
Yeah,
do you ever get like frustrated or bored with some of the topics you pick? Like, is it like you start studying it and you're just like, oh, why'd I pick this topic?
Yeah, a little bit with that one.
Yeah.
I tried to do a post. Yeah, no, there's been a bunch. Like, it's a good idea, but then you kind of, I would start writing it, but then what I do first, if I have an idea, I research it first just to make sure no one else has done it.
Right.
And then once I get that go ahead, then I kind of start writing it. But yeah, no, there's definitely been some things that have been kind of boring. I kind of muscle through them. But I don't know. I was gonna like devise a post doing an algorithm to prove that the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid is like the worst horror villain ever.
Really?
I just couldn't. I just didn't want to like manipulate the data. So I had every single villain with all their kill counts and like what happened and how happened, and then I tried to like do the data. I'm like, I don't like this.
Really? So did you drop it?
Yeah. You just unless I get something better, like. I don't know. These posts are so stupid that if you just release stuff to like keep up appearances or like keep the post going or you're just forcing things, I think they're going to like jump the shark really fast.
Right.
They're going to measure the sperm whale really fast.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You want to put out quality research.
Yeah. And like, I guess that's like my problem early on. Like after I figured out the greatest horror movie of the 21st century, my cousin and I did this really cool thing about horror franchises, and that did well. But I'm like, well, hey, what's the best movie of the 21st century? So I collected 1,300 films, got all their Rotten Tomato, IMDb, and Metacritic info. That was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
And then people read it, and they were like, cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for devoting hours and hours to
and
this.
And so I don't know. I guess after now, like, I just want to, I don't know. I'm trying not to force any of that stuff.
Well, it's funny that you say that because, like, I know, like, a lot of work goes into it. And I think of it because, like, I do, the fictional podcasts. So I'm, like, I spend time recording people, editing the podcast, finding music, finding sound effects. It takes hours and hours and hours. And I remember I released, like, I release an episode, like, every 2 weeks. And sometimes the episodes are only, like, 20 minutes. I try to get them a little bit over 20, but sometimes they might even be like 15 minutes. And I've had people go like, hey, that was a good episode, but it's too short. And I'm just like, yeah, but that took me 15 hours to edit. Like, that took a long time. Trust me. I wish I could put out more, but it's just like, I feel like people don't realize how much work goes into like the creative content that people put out especially for free. Like, you're putting this out just as articles for people to read, but a lot of work goes into it.
And like also with you, like, you want the quality to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I guess if I just churned out a lot of people have asked, I've gotten a lot of messages from people asking me to kind of do different things and cover different angles. And, if someone's like, hey, like, what's the rating of a Tom Cruise movie and how he spends, does the amount of running in a Tom Cruise movie affect the Rotten Tomato score? And I love that idea, but I just don't have time to watch every single Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah. Watch every single one, track the minutes. Like, that'd be a lot of work.
There are a few posts I really want to work on, and I would love to say them now, but I just don't want to. But this requires watching a lot. And I do, I have a pretty good feeling about a 1978 horror film that has some like pretty good data to good tracking. So I'm going to work on that next. And
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
no, I want to keep up my predictions. I predict what the Rotten Tomato score will be, and I've been wrong every time, but I still have fun doing it.
Nice.
All right, right here.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok is going to be 92% on the Monday after it came out.
You think so?
So it's released on a Friday. That Monday, it's going to be 92%. Yeah.
When does it gets released? November, what, 6th, 17th, something like that? 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever Friday, the Monday after, 92%.
I don't think it'll be that high. I think it's going to be in the 80s.
See, I got my data Taika Waititi's films. I took his, then I took the third in Marvel films, and I did Kate Blanchett in kind of like sci-fi films, Jeff Goldblum in sci-fi films, and then I kind of added my Taika Waititi buffer, so I boosted a few points.
Right.
So, if you follow the numbers, it's in the 80s, but I live on the edge, so I added some more points to it.
I was going to say, like, I'm not like using any sort of data. I'm just guessing, but I'm going to say 85%.
85, 92.
85. I think it's going to be higher, definitely higher than the other Thor movies. I just watched Blade Runner, and Blade Runner was in the 90s, and then it went down to like 88, and like it stayed around there. And I think like, I don't know, just from the buzz I heard about Thor Ragnarok, I'm kind of thinking like the same type of thing's going to happen. Like it'll start off in the 90s, and then as the weekend goes, it'll fall back into like the 80s.
I feel so bad for everyone said they felt bad for Blade Runner only making 30 million, but it's an R-rated 2.5-hour sequel to a cult classic. Like that movie was never going to make that much money.
No, they thought that because of the advertising and the advanced ticket sales, that they thought they were aiming for like 40 to 50 million though, and yeah, it didn't make that. I didn't think it would though.
I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, same here. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, but it's just not. I don't know. I just knew audiences weren't going to really embrace it.
I even saw when I was watching the movie, two older people got up and like walked past me, and they never came back in. So I think they just left like half an hour into it.
Like my jaw was dropped the entire time from Roger Deakins.
Yeah,
cinematography, like it was beautiful, but yeah, people walked out of mine as well.
Yeah, I think I think some people didn't know like what it was. And it's not an action movie. It's sci-fi, but it's not like sci-fi action. It's a sci-fi detective type story. It's just a film noir in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it.
Like the little actions. Dude,
yeah.
Go see it though. Go see it 3 times.
Definitely. Make that money. Make it some money.
And figure out how many sperm whales could measure somewhere in there.
Oh, I do have a question real quick because I know we're gonna like wrap up soon. But in Blade Runner, and this isn't really like a spoiler or anything, but something happens to Ryan Gosling's car, and it like kind of like crashes or whatever. And when he gets out, he goes and talks to some people, and then literally in the next scene, it's like the orphanage or whatever. He like talks to some people there, and then literally the next scene, he's like back in the city. Did he fix his car?
He must have.
Or did he just like? Because I can't remember.
Did he hitch a ride?
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember if he had his car after that. I just remember thinking like, didn't his car like break down and like did he fix it, or did he like walk
Dark
back?
Knight Rises it.
I guess so. He just like somehow
remember how
got
Christian
back.
Bale gets back from the...
Yeah. There's 2 editing mistakes that I noticed in both The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. It's like editing mistakes. Like in The Dark Knight, there's like a scene where he's on his like motorcycle, and it shows him going like breaking some glass, and then he's like he's breaking a window on his motorcycle. He like shoots through the window, but then he ends up being like he's like still outside, and then it cuts to like him inside a building, and then it cuts to him back outside. Like after he already broke the glass. It's like really weird. Like if you watch it, I think it was supposed to be like him breaking the glass and then being inside whatever building, like the mall or whatever he was in that he was driving through. It was a really weird shot. But then and then in Dark Knight Rises, there's like a scene where Talia, Ghul or whatever her name is.
Al Ghul,
Al Ghul, yeah. She's like with who's she with? She was with they show
Bane?
up. No, she was with like when Cillian Murphy or whatever was taking over and like keeping some people
Scarecrow.
trapped. Yeah, she like shows up there, but then like the next scene, like they talk about how they couldn't find her. I think it was just like the editing. It's like weird. There's like two editing things I noticed in both movies, and I've never seen like it was like so blatantly obvious to me. But maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Who knows?
I heard something once about their filming where it's like one scene it's night, then the other scene is day, or one scene it's day and night, like one of those two.
Right.
And they were like, "What should we do about this?" And like, people won't realize it.
Really? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's possible.
People are like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just leave it. It's too expensive to
fine.
fix. All right.
Nice. Well,
Cool.
no, man, dude, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't think any other person would have discussed sperm whale length in regards to Sleepy Hollow with me.
Yeah, I mean it's not an easy task, but we were up for it. we did it somehow.
No, dude. And then I don't know. You got anything to plug before we head out?
I don't remember. I mean, you mentioned Seven Lamb Productions, which is the production company I just created recently. A lot of audio dramas on there. If you like storytelling in your podcast, we have a horror podcast called Paralyzed, a sci-fi one called End of All Hope, comedy one that's it's like a spoof of Game of Thrones, and it's called Chair of Swords. All of those are on iTunes, or you can go to blogtalkradio.com/7lamb. That's SEVENLAMB. And you can find all of our podcasts there, all the audio dramas we do. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then head to the site, man. Movies, Films, and Flicks. Also, thanks, Brian Raftery. Follow him on Twitter. Dude's a great writer. And yeah, we'll have Levingood back when he's done with his Eating Across America trip.
Nice.
And yeah, man, just go to the site, follow us on Twitter, rate us on Facebook or iTunes.
Or Facebook.
Yeah,
Either one.
follow us.
Yeah.
Send us messages. Don't tell me how far McConaughey jumped.
Unless you have proof.
Yeah, unless you have a deleted scene
Yeah.
where he basically just floats for days.
Yeah. Just keeps going. Like he actually went 100 feet. He just kept going horizontally. But
All right. Well, thank you guys. Then tune in next time when Robert tells us all about his love of Swim Fan
I got to go buy it on DVD now.
and just never watch it.
Yeah, I'll just leave it in the package.
Should we do a Chill Factor podcast?
I don't know. I looked it up on IMDb, and it did not look like anything I would want to watch, but maybe. Who knows?
All right, man. So for Robert and myself, guys, thank you for listening to Movies, Film, and Flicks. We'll see you next time.